Before I even introduced the idea of writing questions for the reading comprehension game, Cranium Core, I worked closely with a language arts teacher to help build excitement about the project and lay the foundations. Students created their own teams for a 2-day competition in Cranium Core's game for the book Hunger Games. The winning team won tickets for the highly anticipated, soon-to-be-released movie. Students used the new Cranium Core app available for iPads as their remote response tool.
Hi, I'm Brendan Outlaw. Here at Independence Middle School, we are currently in our second day of the Hunger Games. My team, the Tracker Jackers, is currently in 4th place. When I told my science teacher, Miss Richardson, about the Hunger Games competition, he decided to send me a package, just like Hamish would do for Katniss and Peeta in the real Hunger Games.
Students loved playing Cranium Core. The bait was set. Now it was time to introduce the question writing lesson. But before we wrote questions for Sharon Draper's Sunshine State book Out of My Mind, we reviewed literary skills like finding the author's purpose, main idea, drawing conclusions, and identifying cause and effect. Posters of these literary benchmarks were displayed so students could refer to them while creating questions, along with a handout. Mr. Andy Larson, the creator of Cranium Core and the owner of the company Thinkersize, made a special visit to Independence Middle to help guide our students through the first question creation lesson.
Let you know, when I write questions, here's what I do. I read the book cover to cover, just for fun. Then I go back a second time and I highlight things that I think merit a question on the paper. And I write in the book. It's a bad thing, but I do. I write in the book. Then I go back a third time and I look at the points that I've highlighted, and if I'm in the zone, I don't need this because I've been doing it for 16 years. Because I thought of this idea for this game show 16 years ago.
After more than 2 hours of deep analytical discussions and fine-tuning each question and answer, students wrote 10 very challenging questions that they were quite proud of. Students found, though, that writing the questions was much more difficult than they anticipated. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Hey, wasn't Out of My Mind a great book? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Do you remember when we had to write questions for it for Cranium Core?
Yeah, but it wasn't easy.
You're right. I expected question making to be really easy, but instead it was really hard.
Yeah, coming up with 4 answers and making sure that the correct answer wasn't too obvious but wasn't too hard. That was one of the hardest parts.
You're right, and language arts class helped me a lot more than I thought it would. It would have been even more difficult without it, because in language arts class I learned things like author's purpose that really helped me when writing questions.
Yeah, and also compare and contrast helped also.
Yeah, and inferences.
What about figurative language?
You're right. I hope we do this again sometime. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Larson taught us to exclude any really detailed questions and focus on the main ideas and inferences. When you have really detailed questions like what color was Miss V's dress, people don't really remember that. You want to give them things that they have to think about and harder questions.
At my time with Cranium Core, I learned that to make challenging questions, you have to make questions that actually make people think. You have to make questions that make them have to go back into the chapter where that question is originated, reread the paragraph, and then they have to infer and think about what that paragraph means, and then answer the questions from the 4 answers.
Teachers have never really asked me to write questions about a book for Cranium Core or for readers that need to answer them, but it was really challenging, but it was fun, and I hope I can do it again with Cranium Core.